His life was so mind numbing that just by telling you about it, large parts of my brain have fallen asleep as I type this. By now, you got the point. There was nothing happening in his life. Nothing was supposed to happen in his life. He did not want anything to happen in his life. He loved it that way, and he wanted it to stay that way. And yes, this is where plot twists come in. Sometimes for comedic effect, sometimes for the shock value, sometimes just for the contrarian literary motif. And it did. It came, but only in his dreams, well, in his nightmares. His nightmares were actually not technically nightmares. They were quite good dreams, dreams that any normal person would love to have, fun dreams. You know those dreams that are like seeing a good movie, but also actually being in that movie? Dreams of adventures, interesting things happening, meeting cool people, traveling to beautiful places. Yes, all the things he hated and despised in real life. He had those dreams that would have been amazing books or movies and would make any normal person wake up with a huge smile. But for him, they were sheer, well, horror. A strange envelope was delivered by mistake to his apartment. It belonged to the downstairs neighbor who was a stripper in a midlife crisis and was hiding from the mob. And when she picked up the lost mail, she convinced him to take care of her 6 year old daughter as she just has to go and do some small errand. He ends up being chased by the Japanese Yakuza. Oh, I forgot to mention it was the Japanese Yakuza she was hiding from. Yes, it was the Japanese Yakuza, or more accurately, the Tel Aviv suburb branch of the Japanese Yakuza. And the 6 year old turns out to be an autistic genius who can hack into any computer or electronic device. And this is how they get away and get the bad guys arrested and save her mother, too. That kind of dreams. On the way home from work one day, he is almost hit by a car that crashes on the sidewalk near him. The driver lost control of the vehicle because he was poisoned and shot and stabbed twice. That is what happens when you try to testify against the triad, the Chinese Hong Kong mafia triad, the Tel Aviv suburb branch of the Chinese Hong Kong mafia triad. His last words are the combination of a safety deposit box in the train station where the radioactive test tube is hidden. To get to the station without raising the suspicion of the triad, he has to enlist the dirty, loudmouth homeless guy who lives on his street, who turns out to be an ex Kabbalist rabbi who lost his mind in one of his experiments to summon demons, which actually worked, but the experience left him mentally unstable and living on a bench in the street. They save the test tube while the demons kill the triads. That kind of dreams. His boss sends him to a regional accounting and insurance adjusting conference in the south, and on his way in the airport, there is a mix up, and his suitcase is taken by an assassin working for the Ukrainian mob, the Tel Aviv suburb branch of the Ukrainian mob, and he takes his bag, the Ukrainian assassin bag, that is full of weapons. He is arrested by customs with all those weapons and sent to jail, where a misunderstanding about the dinner jello dessert gets him in trouble with a serial killer psychopath, and he has to find a way to escape with the help of a fallen angel disguised as a semi retarded janitor. And they end up on the run, saving a bunch of orphans for a burning house while defeating the mob and the serial killer. Yes, those kind of dreams. Aliens abduct him and tell him the secrets of the universe and give him supernatural powers to save humanity from itself, but no one believes him and the army is after him. Also, he is chased by the Nagretta, the infamous Calabrian Italian mafia. the Tel Aviv suburb branch of the Calabrian Italian mafia, who wants to steal his powers. He recruits two kids, a speaking dog, and an albino dyslexic supermarket cashier, and together they go on a mission to take over a TV station so they can send his message of love and peace to the whole world and unite them forever and ever. Do you start to see the problem with those dreams? He walks in the street and finds a lottery ticket that flies in the wind and lands by his feet. It is the winning lottery ticket, and he just won $13 million. But it was a rigged game that was part of a money laundering scheme by the Colombian drug cartel, the Tel Aviv suburb branch of the Colombian drug cartel, and they are after him to get the money and kill him before he can tell anyone. But he escapes thanks to a retired army colonel, a Victoria's Secret underwear model, a young rabbi just out of rabbi school, a parrot, and a midget with a lisp and Tourette syndrome. And together they bring down the whole cartel, get medals from the police chief, and get to keep the money, which they donate to charity, leaving just enough to buy a small cottage by the sea where they all live in peace and happiness till this day. He hated those dreams. They were anything but boring. They offended him. They offended every fiber of his uninteresting existence.